Hello, wonderful Math 3H students. I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of introduce myself, and in case you're not in class the first time or you drop in later or whatever. So I am Mrs. Fennell, and I have the privilege of being your teacher this year for Math 3H. I wanted to kind of clue you into certain things that work for me, don't work for me, and I would appreciate you doing the same for me when you tell me about yourself. So, a couple of pet peeves that I have with this distance learning business. One, images that come in and they're illegible. They're sideways, they're upside down, they're messy, they're blurry, they're too small, things like that. It's really, really hard for me to give you credit for your work if I can't read it. So make sure whenever you're uploading an image or anything like that, that it's clear and legible so that I can give you credit. Another thing is with communications, I love to hear from you. I'm happy to hear from your parents, but I'd love to hear from you first. So if you're struggling, if you need help, if there's anything not working for you, please reach out to me first. And then, of course, your parents can reach out to me as well as if necessary, but I'd love to hear from you. Also, keep in mind, I am a human working hard to try and make all of this work for you. And I would appreciate if you could be kind in your word choice when you are emailing me. So if you think I've made a mistake, which totally happens, if you think something's wrong with your grade, if there's ever any concerns like that, I absolutely want to hear about it. But I'd like you to be mindful of the fact that I'm a human and the way you say things do affect me. So please be kind, ask politely, know that I will work with you, but be nice, please. And then cheating. So in this kind of environment, it is, of course, easy to cheat. You have access to whatever you might need to make that possible for yourself. So I would just say that if you do that, if you work through this process and you cheat your way through it, you are not going to understand the math. And if you don't understand the math and you try to move on in math, you are going to struggle. And I would hate to see that happen to you just because in this environment it was easy for you to cheat. So keep in mind the goal of this course is to learn math. So please do it authentically and don't be tempted by cheating. Okay. Some things I would like you to also be mindful of in my personal life. I have two children. And two dogs, and a lot that goes on with that as far as my personal responsibilities. And so at certain times, I am not working. I check my email all the time. I will probably respond to you regularly. However, if we're after like 4:30 in the afternoon, don't be shocked if I don't get to you. So I will try. I will absolutely try. But keep in mind some reasonable expectations of my time as well, knowing that I have a lot of other stuff going on just like you do. So again, just be mindful, be patient with me. I will get back to you for sure. Just keep that in mind. Okay. I always like to tell students some things that I really appreciate that students do. If you are loving the way something is working in this class and you just say, you know, Miss Vanel, this really works for me, I love that. I really appreciate understanding what I'm doing well for you. So if there's something that's really working for you, I'd love you to let me know. And of course, if something's not working for you, you can also let me know that. But just like I assume you don't only want to be told when you're doing something poorly, I love to hear the good and the bad. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. If you can work on organization and neatness so that as I'm reading hundreds of documents every day, I can actually read and follow your work, that saves me time and energy and makes my life a lot easier. So I'd really appreciate that. And again, just that recognition that I am also a human. I make mistakes, and I would just appreciate you recognizing that my humanity as I recognize your humanity, and that we're all figuring out this new craziness together. Let's see. So make sure you check out the syllabus and the syllabus video that I made so that you know how this course runs. It's really important that you understand before we get started what you can expect for this year. And with that, as you're watching that video, think about how you want to get yourself organized. So we're going to be taking video notes, we're going to be doing independent practice, and then we have summaries and quizzes. And I highly, highly, highly recommend you come up with an organizational system that works for you for that. For me, I would probably be printing the notes templates just because it's set up for you to do that. So if that works for you and you have easy access to a printer, you can do that. If you're writing them yourself, you might want like a spiral notebook. If you're printing them, you might want a 3-ring binder. So again, think about what works for you. Remember that the summaries that are at the end of each lesson will be collected at the end of the unit. So some way of organizing those so you aren't scrambling to find all of them. Also, on a note of procrastination, if you wait until the end of the unit to do all your summaries, you are going to be very, 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 very busy that night. And those time allotments that I have told you will not apply to that week because you have taken all of those minutes from previous weeks and shoved them into that last week. So please, please, please try not to procrastinate. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So make sure that you reach out if you have any questions. Make sure that you fill out the Google form telling me about yourself, because I really want to learn more about you and actually get to know you, even though I'm not in the classroom with you. And hopefully we will be back together at some point. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day.